How Zack D films traumatized everyone on YouTube.
Zack D films. Whether he was telling a story or a possible life-saving tip or traumatizing the living shit out of you, you have seen his videos. In the span of just
His videos are great, dude. Honestly, I've watched this guy. First time I watched this guy, he was popping up on YouTube. He still is to this day. And I heard he spends like what, $50,000 per video, somewhere like that, more or less, or a month. I'm not sure, but it's like he spends a whole lot of money in these videos because he does like like the last level 3D editing. If you want to get into 3D editing, definitely learn what they use because it's next level shit.
4 years, he was able to get 24 million subscribers and now averages around 2 to 4 billion views a month. And he already is on track to beat some of YouTube's biggest creators like Mr. Beast. Most YouTubers will not even touch that in a decade's year of work, but Zack D Films did that in just 4 years. In that time, he's built up an entire ecosystem where he is pumping out nearly 6 high-quality shorts a day. And you know a channel is dominating when out of the 2,400 videos they've posted, the least popular one only has 2 million views. Yeah, 2 million views for Zack D Films is a flop. In this very short span of time, he has created this revolutionary style that is definitely going to take over the platform.
Exactly. The thing is, he learned how to find a way to use 3D element with the storytelling. So not only he's using the visuals, which is super amazing to explain the story, but the pacing of the story is really good as well. So he just cracked the code essentially, and of course he's not doing everything by himself. He has a whole team. He has leverage. It's gonna be really hard for anybody to copy him, especially if you have no resources or no experience. But he's dominating the game.
With that, he has even unintentionally created a sub-economy of copycats that basically do the exact same thing he does. So
but at a lower level, of course.
How exactly did he do it, and will he beat Mr. Beast in views? Let's cut the bullshit and get...
I don't think he's gonna beat Mr. Beast in views because like you cannot compare long form to short form. But he's gonna get close when it comes to like, well, short form alone, he could get close, you know. But I feel like if Mr. Beast was actually like worrying about like being the first on YouTube Shorts as well, he would just spend more money and, you know, just try to learn what he does and probably like do it better somehow. But it's gonna be a good fight though. I wanted to see who's gonna win that.
Right into it. Now Zack's journey starts on June 7th of 2021 when he starts his channel. There's not really that much known about Zack before he created his channel. We don't really know where he's from, his experience in film, or really anything about him. But it's the mystery about him that does really add a lot to the content. Literally the day after Zack started his channel, he posted his first ever video. It was a mini documentary on the gas station chain Buc-ee's. This was not a short, it was actually a long-form video. And for those that don't know, Buc-ee's is like a ginormous gas station chain in America. Let me correct
Yo, I did not know that.
myself. It's not a gas station chain, it's the gas station chain. Because it's more than just a gas station, it's literally an entire universe. Like in there they have fresh-made sandwiches.
Hold on. I'm just...
authentic fudge. They even have a goddamn mascot. It's a staple in American culture, and it's so iconic that I haven't even been there, yet I know how important it is. So it makes sense why Zack would make a video on this. But from the get-go, you can clearly see it's not like any of Zack's videos. There's no CGI, there's no
That's completely different.
blood, there's no fancy edits, there's really not a lot of anything. And that's why it's no surprise that it kind of totally flopped. This was the first and last time that Zack would ever make a video like this. Now don't get me wrong, for the very first video, it was a pretty good video, but in terms of quality, it really does not stand to any of Zack's standards. But hey, everyone's first video sucked, even Mr. Beast. But this video
Bandycan.com, that's crazy.
flopping completely demotivated Zack, and he just did not post anymore after that. And that's where the story ends. Zack gives up on posting, the channel never takes off, and I don't really have a cool video topic to make. But this isn't what happened in the end. Zack didn't give up, or at least at first, because it would take 7 months again for Zack to pick up the gloves. He would
Whoa, 7 months later he returned to the channel?
post his next
That's crazy.
long-form video, Alligator Gar, Houston's Best Kept Secret. Now this was a documentary that Zack did in person on the bayous of Houston. I hope I said that right. Bayou? I don't know. And for those that don't know, bayous are like these super low-level bodies of water. They're like kind of rivers, but not really rivers. But apparently tons of animals live there, like fish, otters, and fucking alligators. So Zack did an in-person in-person interview and documentary on a person who constantly fishes out of these bayous. Or bayous. I don't know. Please don't
I think it's bays, honestly.
press me too hard in the comments about my mispronunciation. Or bayous. And together, they actually would catch the infamous alligator gar. Now, this was a very, very big upgrade.
It's funny, like where and how did it lead up to like where he's headed today, which is doing the 3D super high level shit, right?
In terms of Zack's production and storytelling elements. He really lived up to the Zack D film's name with all of this fancy editing and music and suspense. It was a really well-made video. And when they caught the alligator in the video, it really paid off. And looking at this video, it's so weird to see Zack like in person documenting someone because we never really see his face in videos now. But again, this was the first and last time Zack ever made a video like this in this style. Because it also flopped pretty hard. But it wasn't the last time.
Flopping in the... And by flopping, he means 600,000 views, which is not flopping at all. But okay, for Zack's standards today, it is quote-unquote flopping.
Zack made videos. Because a brand new feature on YouTube was just about to gain traction. YouTube Shorts. But first, a word from our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan.
And that was in 2020, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. At the end of 2020, that's when YouTube Shorts was first introduced.
Now, originally, this feature dropped specifically in India in 2020 because TikTok just got banned over there, so there was a brand new market. But then it actually did not get released in the US until around mid-2021 and then slowly gained some traction. Zack saw the potential as this was a fresh new format and a very established social media platform that was just ripe for the taking. Now, on February 9th of 2022, he published his first ever original short where he compared Jeff Bezos' wealth to everyone else's. Now, there's tons
Are you for real?
of videos that have done a very similar thing to this, but this also was pretty solid. But it also flopped when it first posted. But hey, it was his first short. Things take time. Now, after this, Zack tried to
Okay, so he did the same thing for short form content, right?
repurpose his Bucky's film into multiple shorts, but that also did not work because two-parters tend not to do very well
But dude, what do you mean 13 million's not flopping at all?
on shorts. But then Zack would post
Because I feel like if it's in the USD, every million, it depends on RPM, but in location geography or for whoever's watching it, right? But I feel like if it's a million views gives you $100, if I'm not mistaken. So if he made 10 million in here, he actually made 1,000, and then he made 1,000 here again, and then he made 5,000 here because it's 1,000 because it's 5.3 mil, and then 13 mil again, 1,000 again, 1,300. I mean, it's not gonna make you. It's not rich money, but at least he's something, right? I don't know. Maybe he saw an opportunity here.
also did not work because two-parters tend not to do very well on shorts. But then, Zack would post the video that changed everything. He did a video on why the Titanic is totally disappearing and why it will be completely gone in 20 years.
The Titanic is disappearing at an alarming rate. Scientists are estimating that it will be completely gone within 20 years, and this is due to it being eaten away by bacteria
Damn, that is him? Whoa.
and other marine life. New footage shows the captain's bathtub, a favorite image among Titanic enthusiasts. It's almost completely dissolved
It's so different.
at this point. The Titanic currently resides about 2 miles below the North Atlantic, and while there have been many schemes proposed to raise the Titanic, with its current condition, there's just no way that can happen without severe
So did you see what he did in there? He was already using a little bit of that 3D elements, but just very lightly. He wasn't even do this for the whole video because that would have taken forever.
damage. Not to mention letting the ship rest and disappear
And then he was already using the storytelling elements, which is really amazing as well.
in peace is probably the more ethical thing to do.
Now, this video did very, very well. It had a slow and steady growth reaching 20 million views by the end of 2022. As of right now, it has 49 million
49 million views, which I think it is $50,000. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but it's $50,000.
The reason it did so well was because it was an interesting topic on a well-known subject that really not a lot of people knew about. Like, I know about the Titanic, but I did not know that it was, like, disappearing. And also,
It was the story and also the retention because he kept it interesting. So the retention would be high enough so that YouTube would post it or like have more impressions to other people or other groups of people and then the video became viral.
The quality of this video was just really top notch. And you'll see that this style is also very different in the normal way that Zack makes his videos now. For one, he was showing his face while narrating, there wasn't really any CGI, and he was using like real footage. And on top of it all, it wasn't traumatizing as fuck. But this was still a really interesting style that was attractive to subscribers. Soon enough, he started making videos like this on much more interesting topics, like explaining Poon's walk, why Ronald McDonald slowly disappeared from the McDonald's brand, or how David Blaine does his magic
So pretty much curiosity, but in short form.
tricks. These are all very interesting topics, and Zack's straightforward explanation made it very watchworthy. And he would start to post these around every single day. And this already from the get-go got him a shit ton of views. His Poon short got 91 million views.
$91,000?
His video explaining a magic
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. $100,000 if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, I think that's 100K.
trick from American Idol got 124 million views. His video explaining McDonald's McFlurry spoons got 160
Damn. Yeah, he became a millionaire. Multi-millionaire.
million views.
This guy, he got rich off of it.
Most channels as a whole won't even get this many views combined, but Zack was able to get them on single videos. And this was also when Shorts was still fairly new, and not a lot of high-quality production creators were really entering the platform like this.
Exactly. Right. Good timing. He also had a good timing. Really good timing.
So Zack was tackling it before it got hot. By the end of 2022, in his first year of being consistent, he had 2.5 million subscribers. For his first year being consistent, that's not too shabby. Now, even though
For his first year, what do you mean, dude? 2.5 million, it's too much for whoever. You can spend 10 years and never do your life get 2.5 million subscribers.
he was already crushing, one of the things that was holding him back though was really the algorithm of YouTube Shorts at the time. Now, when YouTube Shorts came out originally, it was a pretty sloppy execution. Like, for one, the feed of Shorts and long-form were in like the exact same feed for a YouTuber's profile. Like, they weren't separate. It was pretty annoying. And the algorithm wasn't advanced yet, so it was a lot harder to reach people through these types of videos. And the worst part of it all was that the monetization was awful. Now, the way that creators got paid was a thing called Shorts Fund. It was literally a collective fund of $100 million that was given to YouTubers based on how well their videos did. And while that sounds like a lot of money, it was actually pretty awful. The pay per 1,000 views was around 1 to 6 cents. So
Damn.
for every million views that a creator got on Shorts, that would only be around like $10 to $60, which is not that good, and it was also extremely unpredictable. So you would have like no idea how much money you made until the month was done. Basically, what I'm saying is that under this system, it was very unlikely that someone could actually make a living off of these types of videos. It was such dog shit that even YouTube themselves said it was dog shit. The fund is just a stopgap until YouTube develops a long-term monetization and support tool for short-form creators. I mean, that basically sums it up. In early 2023, YouTube
Yeah, because everything was too new, right? They were still trying to figure out what they're going to do with it.
officially made Shorts as part of the partner program, which meant that Shorts creators were able to get a cut of the ad revenue money, which meant more money for creators. And now it actually paid pretty decently. Zack was now able to actually earn real money from his videos. Now, 2023 was the biggest shift for Zack in terms of content style. This is when he saw the potential of his content and started to take things seriously. This was his first year where he posted at least one short every single day and was on a complete hot streak. He was finding more and more interesting topics and making the videos much more high quality. But this was also when Zack made the shift that we see now. Because as Zack was making more and more weird topics, the topics got a lot more obscure and complex. And because his style usually revolved around using real pictures and images, he had to find some type of way to really show and visualize the topics a lot better. And that's where his style of CGI came from. Now, it was only a slow start, as he would only use it here and there occasionally.
You know the equal sign in math? Well, back in the day, people actually wrote is equal to instead. And mathematician
A really good quality.
Robert Record
Amazing.
was getting tired of writing it over and over. So in 1557, he started using two horizontal lines instead. He figured since the two lines were the same size, they were equal to each other, which made it the perfect symbol for equality.
This, like I said, it was mostly just to give a better visual for random topics. But as the topics were getting weirder and weirder, he used a lot more of the CGI style. By the end of 2023, most of his videos comprised entirely of the CGI style. while. By the end
Exactly. Because the thing is, he had a lot of money to do this. Also, he could hire the people. It would be almost impossible for somebody, like I said in the beginning of the video, to try to copy the guy by yourself. You're not gonna be able to do it because I know basics of 3D graphics. Okay, so like, dude, just for you to do one small thing, it might take you a whole day for you to do a 1 second clip, a 2 second clip, half second clip. It can take you literally a whole day of work. I'm talking about 8 hours, 10 hours. Using Blender is a pain in the ass for the most part. You have to learn how to use it. It takes so much time. It is so time consuming. It's crazy. Literally, you have to stop your whole entire life just to do this shit. So that means you got to hire a team. So that's why it's really the entry barrier that he made it almost impossible to compete by yourself, because you need so people, like so many people, I'm sorry, and so much quality that it's almost impossible to compete with a guy if you don't have experience, structure, money, time available. Like, Zack, he took it to another level.
In 2023, he broke 7.2 billion views and was just 20K shy of breaking 7 million subscribers. That's nearly a triple growth in 1 year. But not all success comes without controversy. Now, there were some minor spelling mistakes in his videos here and there, but like, I mean, who gives a fuck about that? There were some videos where he straight up was called out for being wrong. In one of his videos, he claimed that the fast food chain KFC legally made their name KFC instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken was because the state Kentucky had the word Kentucky trademarked. And so to avoid having to pay any fees or anything, they just made the name KFC. But this is not true.
A few days ago, I posted a video about why Kentucky Fried Chicken changed their name to KFC, and my explanation was wrong. You see, I explained that the name change was KFC's way of nixing the word Kentucky, so they wouldn't have to pay licensing fees. But after posting this video, I noticed some of the comments were claiming I was full of so I retraced my steps and found where
He kept the character.
I went wrong. You see, I got this information from a Snopes article, but I didn't realize that Snopes had rated this article as Lost Legend. A Lost Legend rating is their way of trolling people, and I fell for it.
In another video, Zack claimed how a person from American Idol did a certain
His excuse, his apology was the best. He kept in character, never broke it.
type of levitation trick. However, that same magician actually called him out and duetted this video and said that he was wrong. And Zack would address it.
A few days ago, I showed you how this trick was done, and I was wrong. This is how I originally explained it. Cane, base, rods, back brace, harness. All that's left for the magician to do is use his core strength to pull his legs up. Well, this magician, known as Special Head, left a comment on my TikTok. He also made a response video proving that my theory is
He got called out by the old magician. That's crazy, bro. That's how many views he got. He gets in the videos.
wrong. There appears to be no base or harness. In fact, Special Head has some other videos online where he just touches someone's head and levitates. So what's going on here? What's the real explanation to this trick? The answer is that I have no idea.
Granted, Zack was wrong about these, but
Are you for real? He didn't say the trick?
he took accountability and recognized his mistake, which honestly is pretty big. It showed early on that Zack was totally willing to admit that he fucked up and was willing to learn from his mistakes. But it's actually really funny because that exact same year, the opposite would happen to him. An official news media company would actually write an article claiming that Zack was a car expert. Zack made a video where he claimed that the AC button can also actually get rid of odors in a car. Car expert Zack D Films, who boasts nearly 5 million YouTube subscribers, highlighted the simple way you can keep your car smelling fresh. The fact that they claim that he was a car expert simply for only having 5 million subscribers honestly is just hilarious. Zack would respond to this claiming that he actually is not a car expert at all, he just found the information on Google. So at least he was honest.
Because you are what you have. People have an image of you if you have something. For example, if you have 1 million subscribers, the fact that you have 1 million subscribers makes you somewhat of an authority, and now people are going to respect you more, supposedly, because that's how the game works. That's how the world works. People are this way. You know, if you don't have numbers, if you don't have numbers to the table, you are nobody, and you could be right, but you're still a nobody, quote unquote. And if you have numbers, and if you're saying everything wrong, people are gonna still fuck with you because they have the numbers. Because at the end, the only thing that matters is your numbers, your fame, your status. It's all that matters in this world. It's fucked up, man.
2024 was when we'd see Zack go to a whole new level. This was the year that he made the full transition into fully animated videos. He stopped showing his face, stopped showing real pictures and real videos, and just fully went into the CGI style. Now, this actually made it easier for Zack to tell stories and fully demonstrate the weird-ass topics he was trying to talk about. And this is also why the videos would get a lot more graphic. Now, usually some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform usually never post graphic stuff like this, but for Zack, it was much different. Now, because it was animated, he was able to be as detailed as he wanted to be, but without being too disturbing. Because if he did show the real stuff, he would get demonetized and censored like that. But because these are animations, it's okay for YouTube guidelines. And also with this animation style, he was able to produce these videos a lot faster. You see, animation is a pretty difficult thing to get to at first.
Always, not just at first. Always. Animation is a pain in the ass.
But once you're able to get a good style, you can find people who can help make that style a lot better and produce it a lot quicker. And with Zack, clearly he cracked the code. Now the program he uses is Blender, which allows him to make these types of videos a lot
Blender's scary as fuck, I swear to God. Scary.
quicker and easier. For this whole
straight up scary ass app. Every time I open Blender, I'm like, ugh, I'm shaky. My hands are all shaky.
year in 2024, he posted nearly 800 videos. And this style performed much, much better. Some of his most popular videos are in this style, with one of them having over 230 million views.
Bro, this is crazy.
Many of which in that 100 million view mark. It was clear that this was the style that was going to make Zack a household name. And so, this is when Zack's production got a lot faster. Like, a lot faster. By the end of this year, he was posting nearly 4 videos a day. Because the monetization was doing a lot better, now he was able to actually hire a team that can animate the videos, write the ideas, do the research, and everything else. But how else does Zack actually make money from this? It must be good considering the amount of videos he's able to produce. Well, like I said, monetization is definitely the main one. It's estimated that between mid-October 2022 to now, he has made between $17 million to $57 million from AdSense.
Damn, let's go, Jack. Zack. I said Jack, it's Zack.
Or at least that's
goddamn Samuel.
what I got from view stats. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if
I feel like he makes more than that.
this was true. But there are other ways that he has earned money. For one, he did a sponsor with the wallet company Ridge 2 times in his videos. But he only did this twice, so I can't imagine he made that much money in that short span of time. I'm not sure if Zack chooses not to do sponsorships or if he just simply can't get them because his videos are that graphic. Sponsors are rare, but Zack does have the platform for it, so I don't know. The other form of income that Zack had was when he briefly had memberships on his YouTube channel. For $2.99 a month, viewers were able to get an additional short on top of every other type of content. As a business model, it seemed to make sense. He's pumping out nearly 4 shorts a day, so why not profit a little bit off that extra one? But this did not last longer than a month. He randomly took the memberships down and the announcements for it. Why he did this is a little unclear. Maybe he wasn't making that much money off of it, or maybe he just didn't want to charge people for the videos. Who knows? But right now it seems like YouTube monetization is really the main thing paying him, and it seems to be paying pretty damn well. By the end of 2024, Zack's channel broke over 27 billion views and broke over 18
Fuck, dude.
million
He's competing with Mr. Beast at this point, exactly.
subscribers. You'd think
And I said that in the beginning of the video, he's not gonna be able to top Mr. Beast. I think honestly we will after all of that.
that with the amount of stuff that he was posting, he would be sacrificing his audience and the quality of the videos, but no. In fact, Zack is one of the very few YouTubers who was able to get the perfect ratio of quality to quantity by posting all these videos. It feels like with each video, the animation is only getting better and better, and his videos never stop to get the funniest reactions from creators. It became so signature that
It's so amazing.
at one point, Zack literally was a meme where people were like, Zack D films be like.
A man was drinking a cold smoothie because he liked the cold sensation filling up his mouth. Until he suddenly started choking, but he had a friend nearby that decided to help him. Luckily, he survived.
Zack achieved what most YouTubers
Bro, this is
aim
so
to get,
amazing.
being able to talk about any and every topic and make it interesting. Zack perfectly curated a style where he would be able to tell the most gruesome story from World War II or a simple video on how to make good scrambled eggs, and they would both be equally interesting. This
Exactly. He found a way to create something that I think the storytelling and visuals, to mix them like both together in a way that people are just gonna love it no matter what. And it could be the craziest idea or something, just hypothetical or anything. He cracked the code.
Essentially creates an infinite ideas glitch for Zack. And when you're successful, you will always have copycats. And with Zack, this also was no exception. By 2025, being a Zack D Films copycat was honestly a solid business move to do. Like, people were legitimately earning a lot of side cash from this. So many creators were just making the exact same types of videos that Zack was making in the exact same style. Like, this channel has over 4,000
Zack Films.
subs. This one has over 800,000 subs.
Simply how?
This one has over 1.4 million subs. And these guys straight up are just not hiding it.
This is a YouTube channel I started 5 months ago. This was it in week 1, week 2, week 5, week 12, week 15, and this is it now. Almost 500,000 subscribers, 50,000 followers, and tens of thousands of dollars made. How did I do this? Well, let me take you back to March of this year, when on a 20-minute call, my friend and I, Razor, plotted on a new business idea. I mean, we already ran
You're talking about Zack Films.
multiple companies doing very well, but who isn't up for a new challenge?
Damn, he's good at in being this young. This guy's young.
The problem was that there were hundreds of things we could have tried. Drop shipping, even starting an agency, but to be very honest with you, all of those business models are boring as fuck. We wanted an actual challenge, which is when we came across this guy. Zack D Films, 14 million subscribers, getting over 1 billion views a month, making him
Dude, it's gonna be impossible to compete with Zack unless you have a lot of money. Not gonna happen.
hundreds of thousands. I'm not even joking.
Some of them were even lazy enough to just straight up use the exact same videos from Zack. But if you've watched any of his videos, you know that's a dumb idea, because in every single video, he always is able to incorporate his signature watermark. One person from Zack's team even reached out directly to a YouTuber to tell him to stop using their content without permission. They left him with a warning and did not issue a copyright strike, which honestly was pretty generous of them. So Zack, if you see this video, just know I'm not trying to steal your content, I'm just trying to tell your story. Please don't copyright me. Now, obviously
Not.
people stealing your content is a pain in the ass, but when you really think about it, it's kind of cool. The fact that so many people are wanting to steal your content really shows just how much motion you have. After all, copying is the biggest form of flattery. It's the same way that people
Exactly. They want to copy what works. Nobody's gonna copy a guy that's not doing well and it's not, performing good on social media. They want the guy who's popping. They want the guy who's blowing up, And his content is freaking on another level.
People try to copy Mr. Beast style of videos, or the same way that people try to copy Joe Rogan style of podcasting. It's because these guys clearly know what they're doing. As of this video being made, Zack has over 24 million subscribers and over 52 billion views. He's going viral multiple times a day on multiple platforms. And with each day,
That's crazy.
the animations get better, the ideas get more creative, and the content gets a lot more traumatizing. His creativity, his aim for quality, and his hard work clearly has led him to where he is right now. And in a few years, we may see him even get more views than Mr. Beast. Come back to this video in a few years
There's gonna be a challenge.
when he's at double the size he is now, and the results will speak for themselves.
Ooh, WW video. One thing I'd like to say is, don't try to copy Zack D Films. You're not gonna be able to do it. You have to learn, and I have to learn as well. I gotta learn. We have to learn what they do, and it's a process. You see that he did not start at this high level. He went through a process of starting with something. He did the very basic documentary, like little documentary video, and then that thing started working for him. Then he had money, and then he continued doing that. Then he had a little more money, and then he leveraged it with other people, with other editors, and then he doubled down on it. It was a process, because like you're looking at the end goal of a freaking 4-year process, So it's not gonna be, you're not gonna be able to copy or compete with this guy unless you have a lot of cash, money, and structure. But they can teach a lot, about how to create good content. It's one thing I'm trying to learn. How to create good content. This is so hard. It is so complicated to do good content, but at the end of the day, we're all learning. So yeah, that was the video. I hope y'all like it. Yeah.